I've missed this Liru. I don't know why, but I missed it. See, I'd rather you scream into my ear than the goat, but okay.
It's out of focus, but you know what? I don't even care. Just...
You don't even have a camera on. How can you be out of focus?
I can't take you anywhere.
You can take me to bed.
No. If I get enough bonk emotes, I swear to God I will mute him. Please. I'm still on voice activation, but I don't care at this point.
If you're on voice activation, that's gonna be kind of rough later.
Bonk him!
Even Sparky's fucking telling me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's how you know you've gone too far, barbarian. Don will put the prediction up in a second.
Oh shit, we're on the map screen. I should probably update my mission commands.
You really should. Really, really should, my friend. Oh my God. And I hate to say it, don't get me wrong, but if you go to his channel while he's being horny to go bonk him, that's just gonna feed his ego, okay? So don't. The only way to win is not to play.
So how are your holidays? Do the Greeks do anything special for Christmas? Do they do they do Christmas, or do they still
do
believe
Christmas,
in
yeah.
the old gods?
They have they're Orthodox. So is it like Zeusmas or something, or
Orthodox as in
like Catholic?
Oh, so no fun allowed. Gotcha.
No. They still celebrate Christmas. It's Greek Orthodox. Okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna read the brief now, okay?
All right, my friend.
Here's how you do a voice, all right? Serbian armed forces have discovered intel on Czechoslovak insurgents and their weapon caches. The Serbs move a recon platoon to destroy them. The area of operations is snowy, hilly, urban, and forested. Something for everyone except Barb.
Hey, I like a good bush. That's all I'm saying.
I knew you were gonna make a sex joke. I'm gonna go to GREENFOR now to get away from this. GREENFOR have Serbian camo. Obviously, because they're Serbian. Loadouts. They have the M21s, which are the 5.56 based AK-styled rifles.
That's like a good deal.
It's a pretty decent gun. Could be better, could be worse. Secondary is going to be the CZ99, a 9x19 handgun. I believe it's 9x19. If not, it's 45 ACP. Support weapons are, oh my god, either an M84 or an FN mag, which are both 7.62 machine guns. Their LAT is going to be the RBR M80, which I would normally say is a piece of shit. However, they did upgrade it with one of the latest RHS updates, and now it actually acts like a light anti-tank weapon instead of just firing a little weak-ass grenade at something. Recon, the sniper has the 7.62 M24 SWS, and the suppressed shooters can either bring an M14 or an M92. Crew and aviation have the SAV, basically a little Scorpion, and an M21S as well. Assets-wise, we have 2 transport Urals, a transport UAZ that's covered, an Mi-8, which is the white version, so that's the UN version without any of the markings. Interesting. No guns on it. They have 2 PKM Humvees, which have the shields up top with the 7.62 PKM mounted on the top. They got a transport Humvee. They have 2 open back bench Humvees. They got 2 M2 Humvees that aren't shielded, and a BRDM. All right, OPFOR, meanwhile, to scroll over to them. They have Yugoslavian insurgent camo, which is fitting for Czech. Loadouts-wise, are going to be sticking with AK-74s, the TT-33 as their secondary, which I believe is a 9x19 Parabellum. Support weapons are also going to be PKMs and FN mags, so 7.62 mirror match on both sides. Also, they're going to be using the RBR M80. Marksman is going to have the M24, and they get the choice of either an M3A1 suppressed with the jungle camo or suppressed Mark 14, and then aviation get 545 based carbines or a full-on rifle. Their assets are transport truck, single one, 3 UAZ DshKs. Okay, I thought it was 2. Interesting. 2 fuel Vics and a BTR 80. Is that because the fuel Vics are the objective? No. Wait a second.
The marker says open, but the picture is the fuel. You're absolutely
You're right. Yeah. So that threw me off.
Audited
missions.
Audited briefing.
It's all right. Took the wrong one, but the symbol below it's the right one. I just saw the picture and I immediately thought, oh, okay, it's 2 destroy objectives, so maybe they're blowing it up. But that would also not make any sense because the brief said it was weapon caches. Otherwise, 2 weapons caches, one in the north, one in the south, and the area Berzino. Pretty easy AO overall. Otherwise, yeah. Do you have any thoughts?
I have many thoughts, but about this, I think this is a nice area for Red 4 to defend. I remember it was one of your missions forever ago that was on this map. It was an OPFOR mission, and it utilized a lot of this area of Berzino for the mission. And I remember it being really, really tough. This one, with the lighter fog, pretty much no fog or rain or anything to really obstruct the view from distance. I think this is going to turn into a game of, hit the black blobs that are moving towards you for Red 4. At least if they come from the west, which, I mean, suffice to say, they probably should. Alternatively, GREENFOR could wrap around from the north or the south, which may fare them better, but would waste additional time, which they might need later. But
it's a smaller AO. I think they can afford a maneuver. Yeah. It's not like they're going to spend 20 minutes maneuvering by a helicopter, so
they have the advantage of these objectives being the caches instead of a sector defense, to where they can work a bit more what's the term, a bit more guerrilla warfare style if they wanted to. That option is available to Red 4, if so they desire.
I think GREENFOR's best bet would be to attack from the north. They got all of those forests to move in with, and then the major town, then they get right on top of the first objective to the north, and then they can move on to the south objective. Yeah, it's going to be a little tough because they got that open field in the middle, but compared to the southern approach where they have all that open ground, or the western approach where they have a bigger amount of open ground before they can even get their foot in the door, I think the north is going to be GREENFOR's best bet, especially since they're already positioned in a way where they could, move north, get up to Hill Clan, also known as 324, and then just push east down the hill and then get right on top of that position. So,
plus with GREENFOR's assets, I could see some of these longer corridors of vision being used by those assets to suppress, at the very least, Red 4 defenses, but we will have to see. That BRDM, I do expect to be pretty mobile, all things considered. If anything were to be used as a recon asset, I think that would be the one. Although I'm looking for it now. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so that is a full-on BRDM, 14.5 millimeter main gun and a 7.62 machine gun for the coax. Decent bit of armor. Any lat is going to take it out, but that's going to be what's needed to take it out, if that makes sense. So if it stays at distance and stays mobile, then it should be able to be effective 300-400 meters out, far beyond the range of any Red 4 AT.
I could see GREENFOR mounting up in that helicopter and just deploying on the far north. Vagrant is going to be flying. If they land by Willow Lake and just move in on foot, I think they'll be A-okay there, to be perfectly honest. And then while that's taking off, they could have the BRDM or one of the M2 Humvees go and scout the northern side of OPFOR's AO to make sure there's no forces pushing up immediately to that position. This AO could really favor a rush-style strategy, utilizing the push of your main force from the north for GREENFOR, but then utilizing those fast attack Humvees to capitalize on these open areas to the northwest and just spray down into OPFOR's AOs, maybe coordinate, get some eyes on where OPFOR units actually are so the suppression actually takes a better effect. But hey, just going in and just spraying at random positions is enough to at least get the attention of OPFOR here, distracting them from the main force that would come from the north. So OPFOR, unfortunately, is going to have to basically do a sort of defensive where they hold the south, west, and north until they figure out where GREENFOR is going to come from. So that will also favor a rush strategy from the north, but we'll just have to see how things go. The only weakness is those three UAZ DshKs catching wind of the helicopter and pushing up, but that's again why you put your own M2 VIX or even the 7.62 against UAZs down to help defend against something like that.
Yeah, I think a northern attack is their best bet because they have those patches of forest to work with, so they can get really close if the infantry moves between the trees to the point where then they get into urban cover and can move more effectively there, going down the railway towards the two caches. South side. This
is round 2, but I'm probably not going to cover round 3 for anything
roads
tonight.
And stuff, but there's such a huge gap on the south side that as far as open terrain, where I think it's going to be suicide if they try and approach on foot from there.
Makes sense.
As for an air assault,
round 1 went the entire time.
It would again just take some real gumption that usually is punished in FNF rather than rewarded. There are some good spots for GREENFOR to land on the northwest side, as well as like just the southwestern side inside the town. Being able to land behind some cover to drop off some troops and have a force advance in a straightforward manner. But it's, I don't know, maybe a bit too early to really predict those kinds of things. We do have some red force starting to move out to forward positions as well.
I don't know. If I was OPFOR, I would just capitalize on some internal defenses, utilize the 3 UAZs for quick attacks. Just literally send one north, send one west, and send one south. Have the southern one then bank west and come up north. Have the northern one go to the northern side and then west, and basically try to encircle where GREENFOR is coming from. And once one of them catches wind, then coordinate with the other 2, and they can really harass the heck out of GREENFOR's attack wave. But otherwise, the infantry would just be put on a pretty heavy defensive line. I'd keep X-Ray somewhere internal and just utilize that sniper. But I would also predict that you don't really need anything defending south, and if you did, then just have the BTR overwatch that angle instead.
I would say maybe a bit better would be, I don't know why I think Mikhail got ran over there real quick, but I think alternatively having some people on the south side just like sentries rather than the assets would be much better.
Yeah. Again, I would just have OPFOR do a pretty tight-knit defensive perimeter until they know where GREENFOR is coming from, then adapt the defensive strategy as needed. Because once you know where the attackers are coming from, the defenders have a much easier time, but you have to get that intel, and that takes a little bit of time and a little bit of risk, but it's always worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah, the thing with any defense is that it needs to be at least somewhat elastic. A completely static defense is barely a defense at all, effectively at the very least. So they're going to need to adjust their positions and maybe even their strategy as GREENFOR try to get in to destroy the caches.
I'm trying to see where GREENFOR is going to mount up. We got 3 minutes remaining. They're still not really doing any mounts here. I think they're still finalizing a plan.
They got some time. I wouldn't be too pressed about that either, but they do need to start probably within the next minute or so to make sure everything is loaded and plans are straightened out.
But it looks like they're going to mainly go for the VIX. I mean, the VIX, the 2 Humvees that have the open backtop, you can fit like a full 8-man squad back there. Those can also be arranged over on the northern side. It's just what I don't want to see GREENFOR do is try to maneuver through these large open areas and just get chewed out by the UAZs or the BTR. I just realized I don't think we never went over who's on what side, so I'm going to do that real quick. Fury leading Platoon 1 HQ for OPFOR. Lolo being his platoon medic. 82nd cab guys with Chaos Steve and Archer under X-Ray, who has the sniper rifle. So Tomcat and Archer are going to be suppressed shooters. Steve is going to be the M24 sniper. Alpha HQ being led by Pierce. Blam and Corny are with him under that command element. Ilbanek commanding Alpha 1 HQ. Wise, Sorare, members of 17th RB are also under that group, and Drago. Schnuffles leading Bravo HQ with Artisan. One of them is the squad leader, the other one is the team leader, but they have the same exact kits, so it's hard to see who's what because Bravo 1 has merged with Bravo HQ, but they've got Corvette, Casey, Shrimp. I want to see more of Shrimp because Shrimp did really well at the end of that last round.
Yeah, Shrimp
and
really
Yuri,
fried that rice.
he
really
did
good.
fry that rice. We're going to keep making that joke because it's a funny joke. Screw
It's
what
a
anyone else
really
thinks.
funny joke.
Anyway, Flux leading Charlie HQ. We got some Papegum Pirates in here with Wolfpack. But otherwise, Keiki Rakota, Michael, Novik, Sideways has jumped in as well. Guy Fieri and King. Who are we missing? We have King, Guy Fieri, Flux, and Arma Jesus, so we're still missing Legal Action. All right. Shy, Green Thumb, Ash, Olaf, Banks, and Spiky as AA are taking Charlie 2. Meanwhile, over at GREENFOR, it's being led by Despo. Despo, I think, has already commanded tonight. Possibly in the EU branch. He did pretty well in that one. I can't remember if he won or lost, though. Sayak being his 2IC, Tymek being the platoon medic. Loki and Naders are going to be under X-Ray, I believe, as a sniper spotter duo. Dreek is going to be leading Alpha HQ Maz, either as his 2IC or medic. Anderson, Wheaton, Poe, Martin Miller, Fist, and Cool Breeze from 2nd MRB under Alpha 1. I believe 17th RB is Alpha 2, Bridges, Cyrus, Wiki, Arcor, Warwick, and Farks, or they're just more 2nd RB people. It's hard for me to tell when everyone uses Milsim names to, differentiate. Norris leading Charlie HQ. He is under squad leader this time. Interesting. Again, his best role is with machine guns, but we'll see what he does. Sholin, Drake, Pinto, Snowell, Mackenzie, Night Owl, and Herb are with him. We've got Charlie 2 with more Milsim players, including Cholt, Nielsen, and Kino. And then Delta HQ has your Ragan, Tag Force, Vagrant, Flying, but Dooley, Nafs, Terrence, Bant, Whiplash, Iander, James Sanders, Falcon, Brain, Nemesis, Sam Handwich, Mito, and Lurch. So a pretty big ragtag group there of really good players like Bant, devs like Whiplash, and Lurch and Mito with Scandy Recon. So, interesting mix.
Definitely.
Oh, Falcon crashing out, and he is going to be out of this round. Oh, he's going to be angry about that.
Oh, yeah, he's not going to be too happy about that, to be sure.
And so the MI8, I guess, is just going to do recon. No one's opting to go into that, and it looks like GREENFOR are just going to move through the open fields here. We're seeing a bit of a split off between the two groups. Emzakov, thanks for the raid, buddy. How was FNF for you? What were you playing afterwards? Because I'm not sure if I saw you in round 1 of NA. Thank you for the wave, buddy. I need to get some animated
we're kind of seeing a
emotes,
full
I swear.
frontal assault moving towards the parts of Kelm, where they Red 4 have set up an early warning position with that BTR. And yeah, Blom's in there. We see Stauffenberger, Koak, Drago, and Corny. Pretty good names that we've seen prove themselves. Warwick is acting a bit of as a bit of advanced force, but if he doesn't spot this BTR or any of these guys moving around, which I don't think he will, these GREENFOR troops might run into a massacre here, and this mission might be over before it even started.
MI8 is just hovering outside of the AO here. Yeah, just slightly going left. It's not trying to gain altitude, it's just going upwards. What are you doing at free time? I mean, it's Friday Night Fights right now. What I'm doing after, I have no idea yet. Every time we got shot at first, we all died. I mean, that tends to be how it goes in FNF. If you get shot at, you generally get killed. So EU rounds you most plays a spectator? Right, OMs. Sorry, man. It happens. Battle eye failure. Yeah, I'm sorry, Falcon. Ah. It's gotta suck.
And
All right, so some suppression, I think, just came out from a bunker. Yeah, Pierce made with some 17th RB guys. They fired at some GREENFOR forces that pushed across. BTR is now going to push up a little bit to try to apply some. They've got a firing line here on some of the M2 Humvees, but they are going to quickly drive into some forested areas here. We're going to see GREENFOR basically do a 2 separate attacks here, one from the north and one from the south. I don't recommend that.
I would not recommend that either, especially an attack from the south. I can appreciate the thought of it, the thought of a pincer attack, but this application of said process is way too far apart.
So I defined the difference between a pincer and just 2 separate attacks in the EU branch, and I'll restate it here. A pincer is supposed to have both sides of the pincer at least support each other. So one attack from the north and one from the west, but they're still within a few hundred meters of each other to directly support each other if need be. Or, you know, the western attack attacks first, and that pulls all the defenders to that west, opening up a different vector like the north for the other group to then come in on. Pincers can also be done from opposite directions like north and south, but they have to in some way support each other. Look at GREENFOR here doing this massive amount of suppression through the tree line. On what? I don't really know. I guess the 3 OPFOR guys here, but the fire seems to be a little bit of a blind spread. Just had a GL, I think, knock out Whiplash for a second. But the second attack here, I mean, they're not even started yet. It's just going to be a separate attack. I think they're trying to pull forces north to engage with GREENFOR, but OPFOR's not really budging here. They're still keeping their defensive lines, but when you split a force like this, it's really easy to just divide yourself too much, and then your number advantage that you had gets lost to the OPFOR, whatever defensive faction is going, you're fighting against, excuse me, and you end up just losing the number war and losing to attrition.
Yeah, that's my major concern with this, because something like this, you're going to want to, with a maneuver like this, I mean, in real life, you're going to want a lot of additional manpower. Yeah, no worries. You're going to want a lot of additional manpower to ensure the success of such a risky and perilous kind of maneuver where both sides are relying on the other to protect them, to assist them. So when you have a situation like this, I like what GREENFOR is doing with drawing all those forces to the north. With this gap of time before GREENFOR heads to the south, I think we are going to start to see, and yes, we are actually starting to see a decent amount of forces start to maneuver. They've had just enough time to get in their vehicles and start moving back to the north towards the sources of those gunshots. And now we're seeing those Charlie elements from GREENFOR approach from the south. And they have the vehicles to cross those open grounds, which is what we brought up in the briefing and in the pre-mission kind of analysis. That major concern of those large open fields. Now, it's not perfect. They still have some people out here just in case. We see Spiky and Green Thumb up here on the roof of a building. We see Sideways, Flux as well as in that truck, but I think they're starting to load up. I think all armed Vics have turned north. Those 2 DshKs definitely looking north now as opposed to south. So right now is probably the best time for Charlie to attack.
Right, Falcon.
But we will wait to see when they are all together.
All right, so GREENFOR, as you might have already covered, they're moving into Berzino. The northern attack is also being very aggressive here, but they're taking a high amount of casualties, mainly because that BTR is just chewing them up as they start to try to cross. So we see that smoke being utilized, but that
warp as well.
That forward element, though, they had 2 men down. One of them has died. It's only Anderson that's still up here, but OPFOR is holding this with a surprisingly minimal force, but that is giving time for GREENFOR to maneuver.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, really. That maneuver to the south is coming at a really good time, all things considered.
Warwick gets knocked out, though. That was by Pierce.
He needs to kill the BTR. It gets taken out by infantry. Good cover. Really, really commendable support from the infantry, making sure that BTR does not get flanked.
If OPFOR is able to hold with this minimal of a force, I mean, I think GREENFOR's done before they even really get started here. Because that's going to... Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it depends on GREENFOR's ability here, because if they're able to push in, which they have the perfect opportunity to do so now. They have the vehicles, so they don't have to worry about that open terrain. They have the numbers, so they can have a sizable force down here and really make an impact on the southern objective. But they need to do it now. They've waited long enough. Now's the time to pull the trigger.
But they're doing a pretty slow advance through Berzino here.
Which is still kind of understandable given the circumstances, but with the amount of contact that GREENFOR has faced, I mean, as we all know, they run the guys on the south.
That's a new meta.
The GREENFOR Charlie guys.
It's like the third time I've seen that strat since a few weeks ago.
All they gotta do is open the map and look up there, and they can see that they're in contact, they're fighting, they're in battle positions. Now is a great time. And I also want to know where Defso has not called it in. Although I'm sure he's actually in between the two groups, so it's going to rely more on Dreek, who is KIA.
Ooh,
yeah,
Martin,
Alpha Platoon lead. He
there.
is, or sorry, Alpha lead rather. He is KIA.
So GREENFOR starting to make some advances here. They just took one guy out. That was Martin picking off one guy. But this is the third time I've seen this in FNF. It's starting to become a new meta strategy. Go look at the MI8. Look who's in the back of it. This is the third time they've done it, and it's actually a little effective here. Okay, here getting shot at by Poe, but a lot of shots by Zen and Wise before he's finally taken out. Zyra's trying to move up to support, manages to take out Poe, but then he's brought down by Sorar and Zen. But Barb, you see what that MI8's doing?
Yeah, they have the open
sniper in the back.
Out the side,
Yeah.
Because Red 4, they don't have the weaponry to hit it from up there.
Korvac, his battle buddies were dead. They were in a UAZ. They were getting into a fight with one of the Humvees, and Korvac managed to blow the Humvee up, and, well, this guy's on fire now. Both of them are on fire. They're kind of cooking. Oh, that doesn't look good. Either way, that UAZ is going to pull back. GREENFOR's attack is pretty much dying down at this point. AT, long-range shot, manages to take out that BTR. Whiplash just got picked off. Was that Iender from all the way back here? Looks like it, because he ran into a tree to reload. That BTR is now on fire. And I think Blam is still in there. Not screaming this time, though. That's a good call. But now they're starting to fire up to try to engage these guys. Nemesis, I think, is going to try to crawl up to get to Whiplash, but I think he'll be exposed by that bunker. And Pierce has been doing a great job of sniping forces from afar there. Yep, and there's the suppression by Pierce as Nemesis tried to run up to get his battle buddy Whiplash here, but he's going to need to use some smoke grenades here, but they already used a lot of smoke to push up ahead early. But I don't know. Wait a second. Charlie 1 has managed to get a PKT Humvee right in the middle of OPFOR's objective here. There's only a handful of defenders here. If they find the cache and dead it, they could potentially snipe this one.
McKenzie had it lined up, but the driver turning real quickly. Yeah, they might be drawn to this school building because it is being actively defended. Is sometimes the case.
Sideways going prone, realizing he just took fire. He's now going to try to poke up and gets the headshot.
That's the kill. Nicely done.
Well, OPFOR's been pulling back, skirmishing with GREENFOR's line, but the skull count on GREENFOR is a little high, and OPFOR's also pretty high, actually. I have been seeing, though, quite a few disconnects after people have gone down, so it's a little hard to tell who has that advantage right now.
Ooh, Space Cowboy Carl trying to take out the driver. I think he actually, no, those up armored windows protecting the driver.
All right,
Good
so we
job
got
dodging those
Korvac.
GPs as well.
On the far northern side, he managed to AT another Humvee right here. And that has knocked down more of GREENFOR's members here. So you're seeing a lot of whittling down of GREENFOR's assets. I'm trying to see, though, is that sniper actually doing any work here? He is watching OPFOR pull back here. Even reloaded. But yeah, I'm surprised that the UAZs hasn't looked up and tried to shoot it from afar yet. All right, otherwise, GREENFOR slowly closing. They have all their remaining vehicle assets to the south, I guess, to try to harass what remains of OPFOR here and then snipe that southern objective to then rely on the northern force to break through and hit the other objective. So a really messy play. You still got a big chunk of GREENFOR guys on reserve, but you have Shrimp on his own over here smoking. Again, Shrimp did really well last round. I want to see if he's able to hold that group off on his own. Otherwise, you got King with a PKM under a tree. He's trying to pick off forces that are going past this one area. Lurch trying to get into a firefight with him. Keeps poking his head out. He's been hit multiple times.
Yeah, that southern attack from GREENFOR Charlie really just petered out before it had any steam to talk about. They had that PKT Humvee roll through that southern objective and roll around it, but the drivers shot out and the Humvee having to retreat. All that did was bolster Red 4's morale and made them much more confident in suppressing GREENFOR as they tried to approach. And now we have Red 4 coming back down with those DshKs UAZs to counter those BRDMs and the Humvees. Here we go. Nice little knife fight here between some armor and anti-armor.
Oh, yeah.
Now coming around. Turret turn all the way around, and those DshKs are just pounding.
That BRDM just put itself in a really bad spot. They just sniped Coda out. There goes Guy Fieri.
Wolfpack needs to gun down that fucking BRDM now as the turret tries to turn, but the driver got out and got clapped. So Cholt is now kind of beached.
Ash just missed a point-blank shot.
What the fuck, Ash? It was to the right as well. It wasn't even like over.
Oh my god.
And Ash taking out the driver, finishing them off.
He's trying to shoot through the little window.
I think he's trying to hit the gun so it's not active anymore, and he might have done it. Excuse me?
What's going on?
BRDM texture just changed.
It did just change.
Small arms fire. Turret is still turning, and I think the gun is still active. Why aren't they getting in the DshKs? Or anything?
I really don't get it. Ash is gonna take the wheels off.
Maybe? Yeah. Oh,
yeah?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, you're right.
The BRDM might also be high barred or something.
I think
that's lowering the BRDM though. It could turn around now.
They're trying to disable it. All they're doing is making it stronger.
Ash throwing a smoke grenade underneath.
There goes Wolfpack back into the 50. But now it's, now it's shooting up at Night Owl, who's trying to approach with another PKT Humvee.
Wolfpack is reloading that gun.
He's solo round 2. He doesn't have anyone up in the gun.
And there goes Night Owl. Ash now moving to rip other wheels off of the Vic. And we just had some AT try to hit the BRDM from range.
Try, I think, is the optimal term. Yeah, Schultz perfectly fine to sit in there as long as no one hits him.
What on earth? Well, you got to remember, the gunner has only that little thing to look from, and it might have been shot because I do see it cracked. So Cholt might not even be able to see out of the sight, so he's just waiting there until they go away. Because if they had AT, he'd be dead by now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, here's his POV. He can only... No, actually, his is relatively fine. You might see Ash. Nope, Ash was behind the Vic.
We do have an assault going on the southern cache now, but that northern assault from GREENFOR It's scraps now. It's about even, maybe.
They just smoked Schultz's vision, so he didn't see the Humvee being taken. And now Schultz firing at the what was his friend's Humvee. Oh my God. I give up. I give up. So OPFOR, they've gone south to favor the defense along the southern cache. Northern cache still has a few defenders of X-Ray, but GREENFOR just seems really, really broken up right now.
Ooh, explosive charge from Olaf right next to Schultz. That's actually a satchel.
Yeah, that's gonna blow him up.
That's GG.
Woo!
Well done.
There it goes.
Right tool for the job there, taking out Schultz finally. And Ash shoots up into the air at the
Finally, we're seeing something engage the freaking helicopter.
Because they finally got too close.
No, they've been up at that spot for like the entire game, and no one's noticed till now.
I feel like they got a lot closer massive late, but I may be mistaken.
Quite possibly. They parked the BRDM in the bad side of town, yeah. Something like that. All right, we're gonna have a little bit of a lull in the combat. Right about the 32-minute mark. It is
honestly
looking to be in OPFOR's favor, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is really, in my opinion, this is done. GREENFOR is so disoriented right now. If the northern groups can try and breach the northern one, then maybe. But we just saw one of the oil tankers go down by GREENFOR there on the north, and so I'm sure they're hurting. Nav's actually
explosive trap killed someone too.
Did it actually?
Yeah, you see the body?
Yeah. Yeah, I see Fark's trying to see if he's okay, but no, he is not.
He's not okay. Yeah, whenever you park on the bad side of town, your wheels get jacked, right?
Wolfpack came back into that DshKs UAZ and really supporting that southern
trying
objective.
to hit Timec there, who's now chilling behind a wrecked Vic. Drake now returning fire as Wolfpack gets in the driver's seat and backs it off. Now it's just a bit of a lull, but GREENFOR is only down to 3 dudes on the south. Most of their attack is up to the north.
Nafs and Korvac are looking at each other. Bit of desync now, and
Nafs falls over.
Okay, Korvac does die eventually, but yeah, poor Nafs there. That was
it's rough, buddy.
Pretty rough, buddy.
Numbers wise, OPFOR kind of has this in the bag at this point.
I think so too. Yeah, especially considering the southern side, they should be able to ward off those 3 GREENFOR that are still alive, and then depending on how the north side fares, the south side should prevail.
I'm not your buddy, pal. I'm not your pal, guy. That full freaking loop. Is Malvik still in here? He can do the whole thing because he is Canadian. All right, GREENFOR meanwhile rallying on their wounded. I don't see any medical symbols, and the 3 guys coming down, I also don't see any medical symbols. Same for the 4th guy. So GREENFOR doesn't have any medics remaining. The only medic is Timec, who's on the completely other side.
Ooh, oh, that's the worst.
I've seen non-medics still get people up if they're quick to stabilize. But
yeah, if that's the whole point, or really like what it all relies on is if they're able to maintain that blood level. If they can at least keep it to lost some blood, there's always a chance for them to wake back up. But if they dip below that, they're gonna need a medic to get the blood
right up with that scope PSO M76 and gets a great double kill. I just watched Novix run up to 2 GREENFOR dudes and blow them both away to the south. It's just Timec alone now.
Oh. And here comes Novix.
No, don't make Malvik apologize. He always apologizes for every little thing. He always says sorry. Oh, my God. Yeah, Novix wants this southern attack to be over. He just saw Timek, immediately runs to cover and eliminates him. That aggressive PSO scope, I swear. It's an M76.
Yeah. That's it's still 762 by 54R, but no, it is not an SPD.
Yeah.
And he pops
pretty much
with
the same
TT.
thing though, since he has that same freaking PSO scope for it too.
Yeah,
but
same scope, same ammo. It's just a different chassis.
So the MI8 is now on the other side.
And rockets going off, but yeah, that southern attack being over. It's
Engine just got shot out.
no way.
It's diving.
From sideways.
It's too hard. Yep.
Yep, that's it. That's dead.
Smack.
Well, oh. They actually survived.
I've never seen the Arma physics for helicopters behave that way for a helicopter, but guess we learn something new every day.
And yeah, shout out to Sideways for taking that thing down. I'm like 99% sure that was him with the whatever the fuck that is.
M84 762 suppression on a MI8. Yeah, I believe it, because that thing's not really
Fox
armored.
and Sideways just start saluting each other.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they knew what they had done. That is amazing. More rockets being fired.
This building doesn't have a destroyed texture though, so.
No, it doesn't. GREENFOR might be able to get this cash, but that's going to be the extent of it, I think. I really believe that that's as much as they can do. Iander, with that RPG or rocket launcher, whatever you want to call it.
Pause.
Yeah, that thing.
Gotta shoot the windows out first, silly. Parks, no! You know, it's funny to commentate games like these, and then you go and see movies. There was a scene in Black Widow, for example, where there's a DshKs firing at an MI8.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Solar just like
Yeah, I'm
in.
watching that. Everyone's really confused right now.
No, sorry, not friendly fired. It looked like friendly fire for a second.
I mean, it looked like, because everyone was like, wait, is that a friendly? Is he friendly? I don't know.
I thought it was coming back in from the door.
I just watched Sen throw a grenade on himself. Trying to, I guess, bounce it over the... that was... Okay.
Oh, that one as well, from Naps.
Okay.
That might do it.
I don't get it.
And that grenade takes down the building, apparently. That's how that works.
Yeah, blew up part of the shed.
The part that he was right under. How coincidental.
All right, OPFOR's doing their best to hold here. You got some other OPFOR guys trickling in, though, especially Novix here. He wants more. Dooley gets smacked.
Jane looking like they might make a move for that door. Trying to go for the sliding doors, but no, those controls are inside. Has to open this side door. Kin doesn't hear it. Shore and Archer, though, they see it. Gets one.
Great pickoff by Jane. Nemesis, though, gets Hillary Clinton by Novix. And Novix runs up and finishes it off with a handgun. And now he's looting his body.
Ooh, Archer gets some good shots onto Jane,
For a
but
new
isn't
gun.
able to take him down. And now Lurch able to take down Kin. This is what a pincer. This is a small scale pincer.
Yeah.
Two people working, or two groups working from
Archer
different
gets
sides.
him.
Now Jane needs to be the one to push in, but Jane is
Wait, you
probably
mean a
really
flank?
wounded. So yeah, Lurch
You mean a
gonna
flank?
get double tapped, and Archer gonna be able to hold this area a bit longer.
Small scale pincers.
Now the reinforcements coming from the south. Lurch, or sorry, Jane Saunders.
Jane taken out.
Yeah.
Iander taken out by Novix.
And that's it.
There's still 5 GREENFOR remaining, but
No, that's it. That was pretty much their last hope, at least for the north.
Novix trying to dodge those shots, but he ran out of room, and Naps was able to execute him.
Nice, good job.
Martin's backing off. I don't know if he's looking for chaos or what. He's getting tunnel vision on that, unfortunately. But I think OPFOR is going to be able to hold both objectives here. Naf's now playing one-man army.
Just how he likes it.
Pierce coming. But he holds fire, and Naps immediately engages and manages to drop Pierce. That was a bit of a misplay. I think he was trying to PID, but...
Yeah, that's the problem with an environment like this, is that PID can be a little stark. Oh, oh, Naf's... What? Naf's got handcuffed. By Flux. Flux actually was able to run up, hit the handcuffs on Nafs, and then Schnuffles executed him.
Oh my god.
Fucking BM. What absolute BM.
That's great.
That's
bad
amazing.
Manners.
On Nafs, of all people. Like, he's never going to hear the end of that from Scandy.
Oh.
Oh, that's fucking amazing.
That's pretty funny. All right, we got Martin, who's on his own in the building. You got 3 more guys, Loki, Vagrant, Naders, going into the southern objective. Still have 22 minutes on the round. Ay. So through my desk right now. I need to clean it off again. Let's see. Michael overwatching on Martin's position. Martin, I think, just spotted Michael.
And that's Martin going to be able to catch McLean.
There it is.
Yes. Very nice. And a grenade for good measure. Yeah. Martin, no, he isn't the only last one, but Shrimp should be able to take down Vagrant here as Vagrant starts to push in.
You still have one of the UAZs marauding. Ay, we're just waiting it out. Martin. Flux, I think. Yep, Flux spots Martin. Martin tries to get one shot off,
Flails,
but yep.
I think is the technical term.
Flail would be the proper term. And he's dead.
Dead immediately. That was really fast.
Hey, sure. All right, remaining 3 to the south.
Yeah, pretty much. Still 20 minutes left to go, so here's hoping they die quickly.
Jesus. Yeah, I guess that's one way to put it.
Look, he's trying to be sneaky. I think Vagrant is a little bit more obtuse about things, but he is trying to work the flank. Shrimp is watching in off to the northeast, actually. So this is a good opportunity for Vagrant and Loki, as well as Naders, to push up and try and take at least one of the caches. But the BTR is spotting out Naders. UAZ? Ah, I see. And I think he got his leg shot out, but he's able to crawl back to cover.
As the UAZ reloads, no, he stops. Is Nader's gonna get the snipe?
He's trying to. No, that was behind. Behind as well.
Again.
Against the gunner.
What's
and
he
now
doing?
He's got the pistol out for the driver.
No!
Yes!
You're not allowed to do that.
Yes, you are. You should always do that.
I mean, you're right, but you're not supposed to do that.
He regains consciousness, but still is able to get the shots off.
Oh my god, they have a freaking pistol fight. Good god.
Wolfpack is injured, but he got it.
They're not supposed to do that.
Oh,
Well
Wolfpack's
then.
gonna be talking to an admin, I think, after this match.
There were a few VDMs in EU too. It was pretty funny. All right, it is Loki and Vagrant remaining. Yeah, penalty, right?
Penalty. I guess we restart the round now.
Oh no, no, not again.
Oh man. Yeah, just Loki and Vagrant left, and they're both surrounded by Red 4. Loki's gonna open up the door. Spiky is over here on the other side. Is Lumber. Might spot out Loki as he runs into the open. Not quite.
Waiting with bated breath here. There's Loki knocking out Wolfpack. Snuffle's putting a GL right on Loki.
Right on the corner. Beautifully placed.
Vagrant now trying to come around. If he pokes his head out, he'll be able to get a great flank. No, he just runs across instead. And Loki got up only to be eliminated by Ash.
Yeah, and everyone is dumping ground into him. And Vagrant's,
Well, Vagrant!
This is
I thought Sideways
terrifying.
saw him. Vagrant, take the shot.
No,
Vagrant.
no, no. Oh,
He
no.
hits Sideways, who's one of the machine gunners. Ash immediately starts shooting.
Yeah, that's suppressive fire back.
Vagrant's got to be careful. He's going to run out of maneuver room here. He sees Flux. Flux then pulls his weapon out. Shy now flanking on the other side. Puts a GL right on the wall Flux was going for. Vagrant doing his best, but he is immediately brought down by Flux and Ash firing the same way. And there we go. OPFOR wins round 2. Ay, 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 ay.
Well done. A great hole by Red 4, but yeah, really.
GREENFOR just divided too much and lost a lot, unfortunately.
The thing is, though, is that they had the opportunity as well. I don't know if
Yep.
they were able to see that they did, but there was a great gap of time where that strategy would have been great to attack the southern side and really cause a lot of confusion in Red 4, but it just didn't work out that way.
I think I'm going to wrap it up here for the night. I have like 20 things I need to now edit out of these 2 videos alone, so.
Ooh. Damn. Well, I will be going for round 3,
All right.
and I will also be going, if you don't mind me chilling real quick.
I'm already going to raid you. Shut up.
Oh, well, but about tomorrow.
No.
Okay.
No
I'll
shit.
tell everyone who comes with the
When they
raid.
show up at your place and check your
Yeah, yeah.
Discord. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. As much as it pains me to, I'm going to raid Barbarian. But if you want to go check someone else out, feel free to do !multi. There's still a few people streaming on the ground. So thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers. And we will be back tomorrow at around 8:30 for something very unique for Arma 3. And I'm really excited for it. So cheers and have a good one, guys.